We're all so different in our own ways, aren't we?
Yes. Very different.
Lucius said it's charmed to play when it senses love.
He got you that? Oh, Mr. Death Eater has a sensitive side.
Father should be here soon.
The dark mark.
Mm-hmm. Quiet.
And she has it and they don't, right?
Neither of the other girls ever got the dark mark. But Bellatrix is sitting there proudly sporting it. She is fully inducted.
Right. Into the cult. Into the cult.
Are you nervous?
Bellatrix Black? Nervous? You've only just realised what you're doing, haven't you? You know what love is now? What? No. No. You can't. There's no way you can. Bella, that's not love. What did you say? What is it? I'm taking hold of what I can control.
Yeah, the guy doesn't really have the presence of.
No,
Lucius.
he's too
Lucius
Seems more like
carried himself in a very specific way.
This guy seems like average Joe, kind of. Like,
yeah. You see what I mean? He's not fat. He's just got a thick face. He should have had a more narrow face. And his nose is far too big. And just, I don't know, he doesn't convey snobbery.
Lucius, yeah, he always seemed annoyed at every single thing in front of him.
Because everything was beneath him, according to him.
Like, it's just like, his eyes are always in constant eye roll of like, you.
Yeah, he should be looking down his nose at everything.
He looked down and upon everything with disdain because it was all beneath him.
Yeah. As it seemed, this guy seems like, hey, yeah, I'll get the door. Thanks.
He's not such a bad guy.
Right? Yeah, you know, I'm
just go.
I'm Greg from next door.
He hangs out with some new cultists.
I'll help you with your bags. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. That's great.
Is that person just caressing a curtain in the background?
I didn't even notice that.
It's just like, yeah, he's drinking the nothing. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not.
Doth mother know you wearest her drapes?
Yes. Oh, yes, I met you. This is my girlfriend I told you all about. The curtains over here. Yes.
Sirius, this is incredible. How did you get it to track people?
The homunculus charm. Actually, I was going to ask if you could help me with the Slytherin commune.
Of course. This is wonderful.
This bugged me. He didn't show this to anybody. Nobody knew this existed.
What?
Nobody knew this existed. So that's the Marauders map. That's Sirius that she was just talking to. First of all, Sirius isn't as handsome as he should be.
The Marauders map was the I'm up to no good one, right?
Yeah, I saw him as for him up to no good.
Yeah.
And then Mischief Managed would wipe the charm.
Right.
So this map, there's no way he showed this to the girls. There's no way this got around. I understand why they're doing it. It's a nice callback to the movies. Everybody wants to see Sirius. You want to fit that in there, and that's great. And I can appreciate wanting to appeal to people's nostalgia in that way. But there is no way Sirius would have shown this. He detested the pure blood mania that was rampant through his family, absolutely rampant. And if in fact Andromeda was, as they suggest in this fan film, hiding so well her complete willingness to deal with or be amongst muggles, to see them as just people like everybody else, Sirius wouldn't have been made privy to that. Her own sisters weren't made privy to that. So the sisters who she according to this fan film managed a priori incantatem with. So there is no way that we're sitting here viewing Bellatrix looking at the Marauders map because she snatched it out of Sirius' hand because he was showing it to Andromeda. That didn't happen. This didn't happen. It's one of my few nitpicks about this, but it doesn't really ultimately amount to much. So I'm not too worried.
Assume they didn't really have much for Sirius to do, so they're like, well, let's show something we know with lore that he makes the Marauders map, and that's something with here, I guess. So I could see him being the guy in the corner based on what you said, going like, don't like you guys. But I don't know. I don't know what he'd be doing.
like it.
I don't know what he'd be doing in any of this. But
it's doubtful he'd even be there at his age.
Yeah, or like, if you, like I said, if you saw him in the corner and then like get the fuck out as soon as he could or something, just make an appearance and leave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he shouldn't look like that. And he shouldn't look like that either. He's not handsome enough. Sirius.
I would not have guessed that. I would not have guessed how Sirius. I thought this was Hobo Joe.
Yeah, this is a funny looking guy.
Yeah, it's like he's like, I don't know why you keep on calling me serious. I'm just kidding, I'm just joking around. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're not serious? No, I'm not serious. It's just okay.
Don't stealing it. Actually, she's right. There's one that I use in my letters, the Lycoris charm. You create a secret phrase, and then it will reveal it.
So they're having it where like they helped him perfect the map essentially.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's absurd.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like what they do these days where they like retcon stuff. It's like, oh, and this person is why, this is how Han Solo has his last name or something, and or whatever. And it's like, we didn't need to know that.
And why are you concealing your letters? Gringotts rules, of course.
All right, give it back.
You know, this is some really powerful magic. You could be useful.
No thanks. My talents will not be used for any muggle torturing or dark arts. Thank you very much.
Seems like their gay cousin right now.
Yeah, he does.
No, I shall not play with you.
I shall not do it.
No, I won't. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, stars only shine in darkness. Come along, Sirius. I want you to talk to the Carol girl.
I swear, it's all our family bloody thinks about. You lot are so boring.
Yeah, dialogue could be better. That's very direct about it.
And see, I didn't understand why they cast them so close together. They look way too close in age. Bellatrix was like 7 or 8 years older than Sirius Black, like quite a lot older than he was. They wouldn't have let her go this long. So this feels a little off to me. But again, that's a nitpick.
Sirius, come! I want to make progress!
Someone kill me, please.
Speed is the winning! How dare you!
Taking you into the ministry, where you're in suspicion of conspiring with he who must not be named. What? You were sighted attacking a Muggle Parliament building, casting a dark mark into the sky.
No! Wait! It wasn't her. Richardson, there must have been some sort of mistake. This is my sister.
I'm sorry, Glenn. You're strange. I'm just doing my job. Congratulations, by the way.
You can't just take her like that! I will be speaking with the minister! This is an outrage!
You should be proud of Andromeda. She's showing her allegiance to the pure blood cause.
Wahlberger, she could go to Azkaban for this.
Bella.
What did she do?
Wahlberger? What?
Wahlberger.
Oh, I said Wahlburger. I was like, what? Okay.
What I had to do to protect our family. They won't remember. And why should we have to hide our power from the Muggles when we're far superior? It's 1970.
And that's your opinion.
I don't remember any of this. When did this happen? Father.
Please don't tell me someone's died. You only killed a couple of Muggles. Oh, that's okay then. Just a couple of Muggles, is it? Are we killing Muggles in the street now? Oh, I don't know. Bringing back the people who murdered them into our... This isn't right. We can't keep on living like this. We have to do something.
Yeah, see, the music fits this scene, kind of building up the stuff here. That works with that.
It is. So cold. Father, can't you just...
Enough! There's nothing I can do. She made her choice.
No, you made it for her. This is a detailed plan of the Death Eater's attack on the Ministry. You do know some members of the Order of the Phoenix, right?
Maybe.
Hurry up. Serious. We want them out of our house.
Was the Order of the Phoenix around at that time?
Yes.
Yeah, the first Order of the Phoenix would have been.
No, I thought it was like a one-time new thing or something.
No.
Or was it a bringing the gang back together kind of a thing?
It was a combination of new members and old members. So the Order of the Phoenix originally had Sirius and James and Dumbledore, and Snape was a traitor to. He didn't betray the Order of the Phoenix. He betrayed Voldemort to the Order of the Phoenix. He became a spy that was inducted into the Second Order of the Phoenix. The Weasleys, Molly Weasley, her brothers died in service to the Order of the Phoenix. The Neville Longbottom's parents, they were members of the Order of the Phoenix, the First Order of the Phoenix. They were Bellatrix tormented them into insanity.
So hold on. So the Order of the Phoenix is like a secret thing aside from the Ministry.
Well, so they operated in some shaky grounds because the Ministry was being not taken over, but they weren't sure they could trust the Ministry anymore. They were pretty sure that Voldemort was infiltrating the Ministry, and they were right. He absolutely had spies in the Ministry, and so in order to conduct their affairs away from Voldemort's eyes, they made sure that they had people around them they absolutely trusted. They had lots of security measures in place. And that's why it was so devastating when Peter Pettigrew, who was in the Order of the Phoenix, the original Order of the Phoenix, betrayed them. He betrayed them to Lord Voldemort. And it was such a devastating blow. But the reason they had to work outside of the Ministry was because it was widely believed that the Ministry was being infiltrated, just like they did in the 7th book, where Lord Voldemort takes over the Ministry and Pius Thickness is the acting minister, but he's under the Imperius curse. So effectively, Voldemort has a puppet taking care of all of the Ministry stuff. Harry Potter is public enemy number one, or undesirable number one. There are tons of scenarios where the original Order of the Phoenix was worried that was the exact same thing that they were dealing with. And so they were just, they felt that it was important to work with a smaller group, a more close-knit, trusted group who could be trusted to make progress and headway and fight back in a way that they,
it seems like the kind of the common thing where it's like when the government can't get involved, then we got our secret group that can do the more covert stuff that can also take the hit or something if something goes wrong,
right?
And not trace back to the government essentially. So, okay, that's cool.
Funny how you both only get involved when it concerns yourselves.
This was a mistake.
And it was an attack on the Ministry. We're fine. No one knows that it was us. Anything interesting in there?
Not that I know of.
What are you doing in here?
Was it a crime to come see how my sisters are doing? So rare that we do this these days.
Such fond memories, Cynthia. Yes, surprisingly, I remember them.
Like the time that we dressed the ghoul in Andy's clothes. Or Mr. Ingleshots. Or maybe the time that we sat here and said to each other, at least we'd be able to rely on each other. The only people who could have known about the attack last night are the people in this house.
Your David could have done this. I made sure of it.
I don't appreciate people jumping to conclusions.
I said it was you. I suspect Malfoy would never forgive you if you thought it was. You'd have to say goodbye to that arrangement, wouldn't you?
Maybe your protection spells weren't as powerful as you thought. Lucius has told me about his certain...
Would you like me to perform Legilimens on you, or something worse?
No!
It was me. You. You've ruined everything.
He trusted me! And after all the things I've done for this family, after all the things I've done for you, using memory charms on all, as you know how much I hate memory, was your mess. All of this is Dementors, murders in our house.
The Dark Lord. Does he suspect any of us?
He suspects an outsider.
Then can't we just move on from this? Maybe it was a good thing that this happened.
A good thing? They'll never visit this house again, as I planned. You need your space, we all do. But this is our home.
Can't you see what the Dark Lord is doing to the wizarding world? To you. To us. Stop trying to cover your tracks. Stop being so selfish! Selfish? Can it not get through into your thick skull that you're the one who's putting us in danger? And for what? Your own gain? You're supposed to protect us. This is not what big sisters are supposed to do. Andy! You disgust me. Everyone's been talking about the things you've been doing. The things I've been doing are magnificent. I have power you will never reach. Would you like to see? Go on then. Master the killing curse yet? There's more creative spells than that. I could charm your clothes to tighten and strangle you. Or perhaps I could torture you as punishment. Or maybe I could force you to do my bidding. Yes, silly errors of your ways make you join us as a Death Eater. Do you really? Hit me like the buckle. What's wrong? Scared to use magic on me?
We both need to just stop and think about what.
Talking about muggles? What are you talking about? You're mad. You really shouldn't have betrayed me. Or our family.
So, just to kind of clarify what's just happened there for the people who are...
I wanted to see the whole scene play out. So that was the most engaging scene so far. Nice.
Yes. So what Bellatrix was doing in that moment was she was using Legilimens on Andromeda to try to suss out why it was so important for her, why she was acting in such opposition to what their family has always purported to be all about, pure bloods and the Dark Lord's furthering that, and why would you be so against it? So she uses Legilimens on her to read her mind. And the muggle she's thinking about is Ted Tonks. And so that's obviously who she ultimately marries. But that's why you hear the echoey sort of noises. The mouths aren't moving, and there's sort of that wobbly background behind.
That was a good little effect they used, kind of vertigo thingy a little bit.
it was well done. It was really well done. Legilimens is something that is very difficult to master, and so it shows how far Bellatrix has come in this time. It shows how much she's mastered, and it's certainly not something that you'll learn at Hogwarts. At least not just regularly. You would have to have special classes, special. You'd have to be set aside to learn Legilimens, because not everyday witches and wizards can do it. And so Bellatrix is showing already how early on in her situation, even if she hasn't mastered Avada Kedavra, she's mastered a lot of other stuff. It's made her very lethal very early on, and now she's using it against her sister of all people.
Yeah, it's very well done. Very nice. And yeah, she's I can see her fitting into the role of the actress that plays her in the films.
She's
there.
that shit, isn't she?
I was getting pretty good as it was progressing there. I was like, she's got that down very well. And I like the distinction at this point now. So yeah, seeing the earlier scenes, all the giggly goos, I guess, and then they're very different at this point. The one seeing more innocence of things, the other one just wants everybody to get along, but it's still okay doing some evil stuff, and the other one's batshit at this point, essentially. With that, Andrew, you got any thoughts on that one, on the scene? Has he fallen asleep?
Oh no, Andrew, come back!
I thought that could happen, especially since that scene was like 5 minutes. Playing that.
Ella, wait!
I think she's here.
What's going on?
I don't know, but I think she's here. You really thought you could hide this from me?
It's okay. I'll handle this.
No, Ted. Ella, this is my choice. I'm doing it my own way. You remember that, right?
Go this way. What is this? How long has this been going on for?
Since the Weird Sisters gig.
You remember? All those years ago, when we saw the mudblood right here.
Explain yourself.
Hey! I tried to tell you. Did you really think I had a job at Gringotts?
You lied. All those times you left the house. You were with him. I don't understand.
Because unlike you two, I don't care. I don't care about power or riches or blood. We're all magical. Even if you didn't have a single drop of magical blood, it wouldn't matter to me. You all lead a life with no true love.
I love you. Myself and Lucius, we're pure blood. We love each other. You don't need to prove a point by trying to taint our family.
How on earth does marrying Ted taint the family? It doesn't. You're both brainwashed.
Enough! He's the one who's brainwashed you. Teasing you with something new, something different. That's exactly what they do. Just a moment of weakness for you, Andy, that's all. I'll say this once. Let him go. Promise not to see him anymore. They'll forgive you.
You should listen to her. Think about what you're doing. Being with him puts us all in danger. Andy, please!
I can't. We're engaged. Let go.
No.
Let go. Imperio.
We'll pay for for what you have done. Stay out of this.
No, you're being foolish.
I'm being foolish. Look at her.
I'll deal with her. But if you don't stop and think about what you're doing, I'll petrify you too, and you can both stay here forever.
A perfect love story.
Shut it!
This is good. I don't know what to say.
It's good, right?
Getting into it now.
Yeah, it's really freaking good. The only critique I have on that entire scene is that I didn't particularly care for the effect for Crucio that they did. It felt kind of
the torture
It
one.
looked like you were looking through a kaleidoscope.
I knew you were
And a cheap
silly.
There you are. I assumed you were asleep for a little bit there.
Yeah, we were.
No.
I texted you multiple times.
I had my earbuds in, so
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't hear it go off.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. I love that whole setup. I love the whole scene, and it really it does best when it plays out in all of its glory, because if you get to really get absorbed into it, which is easy to do with this. It's like I said, it's really good, right? It doesn't really mess with canon too much. Like there's a couple little things maybe, but I get why they did a few things. And ultimately the dynamic between the sisters is believable. The actresses are quite fine. The girl who plays Bellatrix is great. Even Tonks is a pretty good actor.
He does a good job, specifically the gal that plays Bellatrix. She does a good job mimicking some of Helen Bonham Carter's mannerisms and quirks, things that she does with her eyes, things she does with her face, just little things here and there. And you can tell that she paid attention to what Helena was doing in the role in order to prep for this one.
I love the blood licking, and when she licks it and she tastes it, she goes, pure. That is just hot. It's just, isn't that fucking terrifying? She sells it. She really sells that to me. I believed her when she did that. And I was sitting there going,
what was the spell that she used to give her the cut? It was like bloop, just little.
There are any number of spells that she could have used for that.
The little the jab spell or the cut you spell. I don't know what they'd call it.
I cut you, man. I cut you so bad. You wish I don't cut you so bad.
Yeah. The shank spell or something.
Yeah.
The shank spell. No, there's the severing charm, which is Defendo, is an option. And then, but I don't believe she used Sectum Sempra, because that would have done way more damage.
Well, I mean, I guess.
Well, also that was invented by Snape.
It got used by other people as well, though. I don't know that Snape invented. It's never confirmed that Snape invented Sectum Sempra. It's just something that he wrote in his book and says it's for enemies. So it's certainly not one that's in a textbook, but there are lots of spells that aren't in textbooks. So that Snape had it in his book just shows that it wasn't one that you would have found everywhere. And it makes sense that it would have been a dark
one
arts
they don't
spell.
teach in schools or whatever.
Right. It's likely that she used Defendo on that. It's the severing
Not
charm, so it would
from
have
a
cut.
Jedi.
Right.
So it's.
But
it's
no, I
probably
like
the
I like the variety of spells they used in that one. It was like finally like sort of an interesting way of doing a battle, and they weren't lingering on each back and forth for that long. So
Mhm.
it was good enough like that. And they kind of used the combos a little bit with them. So that was, not seeing Tonks as a character for very long, seeing them, fight together and whatever. He's more like a side piece to this little bit, but still fits in where he can.
Well, but he's necessary.
Very, very good building tension in this. I was like, I'm just getting into this now. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to pause now, but we gotta get commentary.
You have to let that fight play through though.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to pause the last two scenes. I didn't really pause through because I'm like, I kind of want to see the conclusion of the scene and then give the commentary because I'm not wanting to miss the flow.
The scenes speak for themselves. They really do speak for themselves. It's one of the reasons why I suggested this one is because it is such a good fan film. And look, there are lots of things you could nitpick about this, but you can't deny it has heart. The Black Sisters is something that is set up well enough within the official canon that it would be interesting to hardcore Harry Potter fans, but it's not so set up that it can't do its own thing here. And so I really appreciate how much love and heart and effort has clearly gone into this. This took time, work, energy, effort, and it took talent on a lot of different levels to make this be this good. Like if you're sitting there watching a fan film and you're doing what Rookie just did, which is exactly what I did when I watched this initially, and just getting sucked into it and genuinely watching it to watch it, the fan film is doing something right.
Yeah, I'm really curious on how they were able to film that pretty well. And I mean, each of the girls are able to get their characters distinctly different throughout all this. Like the blonde one, she's like, I'm very much in the peer stuff. I still don't want to hurt you at all, but what are you doing over here? And Bellatrix all crazy. The other one doesn't care with it. Yeah, it's done. It's portrayed very well in all their actions right here. I thought the scene could have ended at many different points, but it was still going, but it didn't feel like it drug on. It was like it still fits naturally enough in there as to where some scenes will drag on way longer past its date. But I feel like this one could have ended at a shorter point, but it's also better in a way that it continued.
Yeah, it certainly did not stay its welcome.
Yeah, this was a good part. I was like, man, I don't want to pause with that. But all right, so let's continue on.
And I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that Narcissa's torn here, because it plays to what I believe of Narcissa. What I've always believed of Narcissa, she did what she thought she had to do, but that didn't mean she didn't love her sisters. So I love that she's torn here and not really engaging.
She seems to be the neutral one of the family. Like the one is totally batshit and committed. The other one is, out for her own thing, not caring about the thing. And she's like, well, I'm totally into the family, but I don't want to hurt my family here. So
she is also a part of my family.
Yes, this is a logic loop. I did not compute. Does not compute. I also like that the scene is taking place in a forest right here and not in another open field like they tend to do with all these.
And it's also what's really wonderful about this one is it's doing what the one that we watched earlier today. And shout out, guys, go make sure you watch that live stream. It was a ton of fun to do. While you're watching this, go check that out as well. That particular fan film stayed too long on this fight scene that wasn't particularly grandiose and wasn't very well shot and wasn't very well done. But even if it had been, one work is just not that enthralling. Whereas this one is acknowledging the fight has to happen. It needs to happen. It could have us just watching the girls fight back and forth, but it's focusing on the internal struggle of Narcissa.
Well,
we are following her.
The fight itself is a vehicle. The fight itself is the physical manifestation of the story that's being told, and it's an extension of the story that's being told, and that gives the fight weight, and therefore it makes it matter to the audience.
Yeah, what we're hoping for is we're paying attention to the characters, and the fight is a sprinkle on top of what's going on. So that makes it more interesting, because it's not about, oh, look at the cool fight. It's, you know, what's going to happen with these sisters right now. That's
exactly. And that's where your concern should be. It really is.
Yeah.
So I think they made a great call here.
Yeah, very well done here. Is this where they do the three-way again?
Yeah. Just
thing.
why you just over there.
The way it's cutting back and forth to each of them is making me think they're going to do the three-way sparkle again. They haven't had that since the beginning, and she was the one that was in between that put her wand in there. So it's going to be. It seems like forever ago now with our recording here, but that's
it was set up now.
I remember. They're going to do the three-way sparkle power now. It's gonna be a beam struggle and then the three-way sparkle power.
Hey, let me have my moment.
Stop it! Both of you! Fine. Bellatrix, I'm warning you.
I'm taking you to Mother and Father.
Bella, no! Wait! Can we just discuss this here? Please! If they hear about this, Andromeda will surely be banished.
Worst dialogue in the whole thing.
Take me to
Yeah, it was pretty just direct entirely of that is the plot of what will happen now.
I would have tinkered with that. I would have gone, the Banisher.
Yeah. That's a good filler spot. Or maybe her delivery could have made that better.
I just think the dialogue was too clunky. I don't think anybody could have pulled that off, and I think they should have made that,
I feel like actually at this point there should be not as much dialogue. Like it's after the fight, just sort of more of the like, okay, fuck, we just got done with all that. Okay. And kind of wrap it up, kind of this little scene in a way, because
we'll get there. We're getting close though. We're like a few minutes away now.
It's still really good though, right here. But yeah.
Do it.
I like that she's like, well, hey, I'm not expecting that response. Okay.
Yeah, Andromeda's just giving up.
Yeah.
She's had it.
You will never see her again.
Didn't you hear what she said? Never visit her again.
There we
your memories. What are you doing here?
I heard about what happened with you and the Dark Lords.
How can you be so stupid and naive? He's not gone, and she is never coming back.
No! Please. No. This is all I have left.
She's blocking it. Is that allowed?
Yeah, there's no reason to assume she's clearly using probably a Protego is what she's using here, standard Protego. But as near as I can tell, I don't think she was using green there. It looked more teal or bluish to me. I could be wrong, but it didn't look like a green cast to me. I can't imagine she's trying to kill Narcissa.
Okay.
Are you really going to do to me what he did to you? Make me forget. Who was it that disapparated? Was it you or Andromeda? Bella!
Fine. Have your stupid memories. But you know the Dark Lord is highly practiced in occlumency. He will not—
The Dark Lord is gone! He was killed by a boy. Now answer me! Sissy! Was it you? Or Andromeda?
She made her choice.
What are they?
Frank and Alice Longbottom. They know something. They can help me find him. I'm going to—
Bella! I'm sorry he's gone. He was killed. There's no point.
This could help me find him.
Enough! Don't be so stupid! Look, I promise I'll destroy the pensive. Just promise you won't do what I think you're going to do.
She loves them. So remember how they set it up earlier that the little music box that Lucius gave to Narcissa only played when true love was present? Well, it's playing right now because Bellatrix loves Lord Voldemort, and that's why she won't give up looking for him. It's not because she's a loyal follower, it's because she's in love with him, which is completely compliant with canon. Just batshit crazy. And if you're willing to accept the cursed child as canon, which I don't, but if you're willing to accept the cursed child as canon, she has his child. So so yeah. I don't accept cursed child as canon, but I do accept that she was in love with him.
Okay. Makes sense.
Bella! Promise me.
So good, right?
Yeah,
so good.
That was good. Damn good.
Yeah, it's a well done fan film. It plays within the little spaces in the lore wherein there's enough ambiguity and enough lack of information that they're able to kind of make their own decisions and have a little bit of creative license without futzing with what's actually concrete and established. And that's something that actually I'll obviously it'd be disingenuous to put this on the level of a major production that's well done. But that being said, that kind of a thing is what good writers do when they step into a position wherein they're writing for an established universe, that if you're doing things correctly, where you can kind of fiddle with things, because it's either something that's not established or it's
That's some of the best
ambiguous.
places. That's one of the best places to make a story is
Yeah.
using what's there and filling in holes where you can.
And
Absolutely.
exactly that's how you make something your own while staying true to the continuity that exists, because you fiddle with what you're allowed to and you adhere to what you must.
And not to beat a dead horse in terms of like the Star Wars stuff, but one of the things that we've seen a lot of fans upset about in regards to like the Kenobi series or the sequel trilogy, it's where there's that disregard of the established canon.
Mm-hmm.
and it's blatant, and people are sitting there going, oh, that doesn't even make any sense. How is this official? Well, fan films that do like this one did, look, there's a lot to be desired in terms of production value for this.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a fan film, but as a fan of both Harry Potter and Star Wars, I am a much bigger fan of this fan film, and it fits, canonically speaking, far better than anything the official Disney canon has put out in the last several years. I'm very pleased with this, and I would like to see more of it. I'd like to see more from these actors. I'd like to see more from these writers. I would just love to see what else they have to say about it.
It's got almost 10 million views.
Oh yeah, and it deserves it. It deserves it. Absolutely, it deserves it. I hope they made a shit ton of money off of this. So
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that's the girl. Remember, I told you she has the false eye.
Yeah,
and she's quite a good actress, and she imbibed Bellatrix Lestrange quite well. So I enjoyed her. I enjoyed her quite a lot.
It's one of those things too, where even if they don't make anything else, they at least made one really, really good one. So.
One really good one, yeah. That I could come back to many times and would be thrilled to show other fans.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I mean, damn, the first 15 or so minutes. I mean, it was setting up the stage, and I was kind of wanting it to do something else. But once we're past that part, I'm not saying it was done bad or anything, but like as far as the interest, once the characters were more established and we got that down, and then they're showing them in their scenes, I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm focused now. So, like the first scene where they're when Bellatrix or whatever was questioning her in the bedroom, and then after that one, it went to the one in the forest. Like those two scenes back to back, fucking damn. Well, because it's like a fan films that can have characters specifically being portrayed without that much else going on, and hold your attention that well. They
held that story down.
That's good, because a lot of fan films will sometimes want to add a lot of extra lore bits to a scene, or they'll be playing the music of the movie, that you're used to a lot, like Star Wars. Once again, they blare Star Wars ones like Duel of Fates, or just the regular Star Wars in places it does not fit. And then it's like, stop doing that, because you're the scene. I'm trying to get into it, but you're forcing the scene. It's not happening here. But yeah, this was good. Damn.
Imagine if they'd had access to the type of casting call that Warner Brothers had access to. If they could have truly cast this well, if I truly believe that this could have been probably stretched out to, add another half hour onto it, make it a feature length, have those writers, the people who wrote this, give them access to all of the budgetary needs, and turn that into a movie, and you absolutely get my ticket, and then I would buy it on DVD or Blu-ray, and I would absolutely, in a heartbeat. This was made with love. It drips with love. It drips with affection for the IP. This was clearly somebody's baby, and it was clearly somebody who loved Harry Potter's baby, and so I truly
and the focus wasn't even on Harry Potter.
Nope, it just the
That's
world
even better,
and
or
these
Dumbledore
characters.
or any of that.
Yep. Turns out there's actually quite a lot of characters in it, because of the world is so rich and so full, and J.K. Rowling did such a wonderful job world building, doing the world building necessary, you can visit the wizarding world and find yourself just having a wonderful time with just about any of these characters. And so I'm convinced that that's one of the reasons why my favorite part, and Andrew will agree with me here, I'm sure, caffeinated warlock. Oh my god, babe, that's supposed to be wizard. Caffeinated wizard. There are no warlocks in Harry Potter.
That is false. Warlock is a title granted to a wizard who has reached specific prestige.
Blah 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 blah. All right, so my favorite thing about and Andrew will agree with me here. My favorite thing about the Fantastic Beasts movies isn't the stuff with Grindelwald. I think they could have and should have done a better job with that. It's Newt. It's Newt just showing me all of these cool wizarding things. Just show me all these cool animals and all these cool spells and all this cool shit they do in there. It's a ton of fun. Just living in this world for a little bit. I just want to live here. I just want to live here. I'm not a fucking muggle. I promise you, if there's wizarding blood in anybody's veins, it's in mine. I am a wizard.
If not, you'll take it.
If there's a wizarding world out there, I'm going to fucking find it. I'm going through that wall. I swear to Bob. But there's a reason there's a reason I get offended at being called a muggle. And I use that term for people who piss me off sometimes. Muggle. Because I love this world and I love living in it. And clearly the people who made this love this world too and respect it. And that's the biggest thing, I think, is when you respect it and you make something. That's a hell of a combination there. Love and respect.
Yeah.
Yep,
I mean,
this fan film seeds with it.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, I don't know what else to add to it other than what we said, essentially, because that's just done really well. And it was lengthy for a fan film, but I'm glad it was that long, because if it was any shorter, I probably would have been like, well, all right, that's great, but what happens next with that? By the end of it, it seemed like if there were some little bits that I was sort of nitpicky on, I guess, but I think overall, though, it all comes together pretty well with that. I think that the way that they kind of go back and forth in time a little bit was a little odd to me, because I was like, what? We're here.
Once you figure out what's going on, though.
But once it's at the end, yeah, I can see the whole picture there, so it's okay. But as I'm watching and not knowing where we are specifically, I'm like, a little annoyed. But once it's to the end, I'm like, okay, it all fills out. So that's good. That went around. And yeah, the effects were pretty good. Even the lighting and most of it was pretty good. Trying to, and the acting, of course, like damn.
Girls killed it.
That was pretty damn good. Yep, pretty good. Hard to find ones that top that as far as acting goes. Out of the ones I've seen, this is like probably top 5 in performances, just specifically.
Yeah,
so I have to relook at some of the ones that I watched for different ones that are on par with acting skill in a fan film, but this is up there. It's up there. Yeah. I don't have much more to say on it. Do you guys have any last thoughts on this one?
Go watch it. Help push it over that 10 million mark. Yeah. I mean, I love independent creators. We have some independent creators in lots of these sort of circles and communities. And anytime that you can support a passion project like this, just by watching it. I mean, look, this had no ads, guys. This had no ads. Yeah. You got to watch the whole thing through. It was great. Go give them that watch. This deserves all of the accolades that it gets. You can nitpick anything. You can nitpick anything. And I truly believe there are a few things you can nitpick in this. You can nitpick anything. But overall, this is a wonderful example of what true Harry Potter fans would want to see out of their fan fiction and their fan films. It does a wonderful job in regards to that. I haven't seen an overall better put together fan film in regards to the Harry Potter fandom anywhere. Overall speaking, it's easily my favorite. So go watch it, give it a watch, and leave a comment and blah, blah, blah. And it's not my material, but let them know they're loved and appreciated so we can get more stuff like this. This is what we want. We want more stuff like this. So go encourage it.
Yeah, definitely. Andrew, any last thoughts?
Hollywood studios that have budgets of millions of dollars. Take notes.
Right?
You don't always need the amount of money you have doesn't necessarily mean the amount of quality you can put into a film. So
True.
that's with all these fan films. That's the one main thing is like it doesn't matter. The budget is sort of something, but it really depends on your ability to execute it and present a story and have the actors portray it with characters, costuming, all of that. There's a lot of different ways that you can have that come into the effect. The budget sort of comes at the end of whatever you put together, pretty much, I would say. This was good. And also, so I want to take you both, since this was like the last one we watched. You guys haven't seen that one. That was a newer one. This one was your one you got me to watch. That was here. We're going to watch more fan films later in the future of Harry Potter. If you want to join me on that.
I would love to.
The Harry
100%.
Potter fan, we can watch we will find there might be ones that have like 100
plenty.
views as far as we know, and that could be excellent, just not pushed enough. So
absolutely,
we'll be looking. But yeah, with that, we'll see you guys on the next one.